the word just totally flew out of my head. Isn't that great when that happens? I just like totally blanked. Oh,
I have no idea.
They're also
Hello, and welcome to BetaHaus.Life, the podcast.
Congratulations on not saying daily-ish.
Thank you so much.
I was almost waiting for it. That's what was even funnier on that.
My name's Benjamin.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And today we're going to talk about where we see things going.
That just like the Dave Matthews song is like playing in my head right now as I'm looking at this. Where are you going?
Oh.
Like, there we go. That was so bad. I know we're not going to get a content hit on that because it was not recognizable. But I thought it would be neat to do the next little grouping series when I was laying out our production plan for this to kind of look at vision and what vision for a business is. And I've had 2 years to get a vision put together for this.
True
and that's
that.
a long time to be just kind of ruminating on an idea.
Right.
Ooh, there's our big word, ruminating.
Ruminating. I'll have to shut that one
That's
down.
that's like a 4-H word too.
That will not translate to the blog.
No, it will not. So, in other words, I've had time to sit, think, contemplate. Ooh, there's another, sorry. Really think. Sorry, we've been having fun with the readability function
On the blog. If you use 3 and 4 syllable words, it says no. It's like, sorry.
Little inside joke we're letting you in on with that. But
as you do your own marketing and SEO work, you'll find these things too.
Yeah, and you can giggle at it because it's like, okay, I'm trying to be
short
really
sentences,
good.
short words.
But those big words are so pretty. But
Default.
So I've had time to think about and really think about this. And in doing that, I found myself in sometimes getting set in pathways.
Oh, sure.
And like really like digging in, like this is the way it has to be.
Right.
And in some areas that's really good. And in other areas that's bad. And so in thinking through that, this whole section then became not just vision, but focus versus flexibility.
Oh, sure. No, that's an important distinction to make.
And so that's where the next couple are going to be about. And I'm looking forward to that because I think that whole thing, everybody is trying to find that in their business, that balance of how much do I focus? How hard do I focus? And then how much do I then roll with the punches as they come? Some people, you'll meet those people who are just like fly by the seat of their pants. And
do whatever works.
These beautiful free spirits, which I do admire greatly, but thinking about trying to live life that way gives me some anxiety.
No.
But then you also have the people, like we've had friends who have a 5 and 10 year planner.
Right.
And have their life to that sort of a detail.
On the other side of the coin, still.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine.
Little much.
Yeah.
But
that's the way some people run.
Some people are really driven with that. And I think that to be able to live the best life that you can, business-wise, personal-wise, is finding that balance between the two so that you can take time to experience something that's happening in the now, not feeling like, oh, I've got to get to my next appointment, I've got to do my next thing, but also having a path as to where you're going so you do get to have the benefit and that wonderful feeling of arriving somewhere that you were setting out to go.
Sure.
So in this business, I've had a lot of time to think about goals.
Yes.
And those goals, though, have changed. So, like, first goals for this business were to open this up in Louisville, Kentucky. Are we currently in Louisville, Kentucky, Benjamin?
No, we're not. We are 2,000 plus miles away from Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay, so I didn't meet that
goal.
To
the west. Nope.
But we are opening up this business.
Correct. It's open now.
Yeah. So that's a win.
Right.
So even though that goal changed, I had to roll with the punches with it, we still accomplished that goal, which is really nice to think about.
You could have just put your stick in the mud at that point in time and said, no, we're doing this here. And okay, but no, Louisville would be a great market. I think it will be one day for us, but it wasn't the right place to start.
And our goal with Beta Haus Studio is to have multiple locations. And to be able to grow this to be a multi-site thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so is Louisville on our radar in the 5-year plan? Yep.
Absolutely, sure it is.
It is. So is Little Owensboro, Kentucky from my interview with Sarah a couple weeks ago. So it's thinking about that. So I've got this long-term goal. I hope it happens. But I'm going to be very flexible about it along the way.
Sure.
And not setting exactly how it's going to look. Now, One way, though, that I did stay focused, and I was trying to pull off of that focus, when we were setting up this room, it was getting to be very utilitarian. And some of that is you are very utilitarian.
What?
And you came in, on board to work with me with this, and so we could work side by side. And the first studio look in here was just the wall behind me. And then the backdrop wall, which is to my right.
Also my right.
To your right.
Also my right. It does work that way.
We're sitting facing the same direction for those of you listening at home on the podcast.
We're not across the table from each other. We're sitting side by side.
And I had kind of lost part of the vision that I had originally had for this space, in that I wanted it to be Instagram friendly. I wanted it to be a pretty space, not just a utilitarian space. And it took a little bit to get that figured out again.
Right.
And then we kind of got to create this pretty spot across the table from where we are that I call the living room.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that we have the living room. Oh, Ben's getting ready to do our selfie right now. So we're doing our selfie in the middle. She said
Instagram friendly space.
So he's like, oh, I just reminded you. So there is our
go.
Filming selfie done for today.
Yep.
So that has been done. So if you're following us on social media, you know that it happened. You'd be like, yes, I remember when they took that selfie.
Episode 5 selfie.
Yeah, I know, episode 5. Still big. But going back, that I had to sit down and figure out that goal was important to me. And that part of the vision was important. And it wasn't something that I should even bypass, even now while we're still in the figuring out phase of our business. And that I know it's going to change from where we are now, but that even from day one, that was something I wanted, and it needed to be part of it. Another thing that part of our focus is that we are working very hard in the midst of a startup to stay balanced with our family life.
Absolutely.
And because family is very, very important to us.
Yeah, and so I'm trying to be pleasantly rigid about Sundays, because we work 6 days a week.
Yeah.
I'm cool with 6 days a week. 1 day off is cool. We take our time on Saturday morning. We did pancakes and stuff with the kids this morning, took it easy, and we came in second half of the day. So we're working noon till whenever we're done tonight.
Well, we've got another one to film after this. So we're starting filming at 6 p.m. So it's a late night for filming.
But it's okay.
But I also allow myself on Saturday to have a little bit, like my schedule is more flexible. Like I don't push it as hard as I do Monday through Friday.
Right.
Like it's a little more leisurely. Like if I have to sit and wait for in editing for Final Cut to sit there and finish loading and spinny wheeling and everything it does to get to the point that you can work with it and not have it say, I don't like you, which Final Cut does.
Thanks, Final Cut
can be spiteful sometimes, I think, as a program. But I let myself have that be a little bit of downtime rather than like, ooh, what could I be multitasking right now? What could I be, using this time to be ultra productive? It's like, no, today is my day to work at probably a normal pace instead of I was going to say frenetic, but that was another big word. At a very fast pace.
There you go.
Or very busied pace.
Sure.
I think that's also a good word to use there for that. With it. So we talked a little bit to what are goals, and I'm going to kind of go through a couple of goals for this. Where do I see it going?
Go for it.
My goals. And I am saying my goals here. And I think it's important, to actually quantify and say your goals. Not just kind of let them kind of be, oh, I kind of like to do this.
Yeah.
I would like to be at a point that we have hired 2 more people by the summer.
That's awesome.
I would like to be there.
Sure.
That way we're being able to tick along at a pretty good pace.
With wanting to have 2 separate locations by the end of the summer, that's a good goal.
Yeah. So that's part of the goal is that we have the manpower to be able to do all of that, and hiring is a big deal.
Sure it is.
I would like to, I'm going to set multi-level goals here. Okay. So that's like baseline goal.
Sure.
The we crushed it goal is we've actually hired 1 more person.
Okay.
And that person is crushing it on social media for us.
That would be awesome.
And really working hard on copy and helping write copy for all of the stuff that we're putting out, because we're putting out a ton of content right now.
Oh, yeah.
And some of that writing, it's like I can only write so much. You can only write so much.
Mm-hmm.
We can only each edit so much. There is a limit to how many hours in a day there are.
But in the business of helping people create their content, we have to also create content to show them how to do the content creation.
And so
Yay!
It's like the whole fun of opening two businesses.
Right,
it's two businesses in one. So that's part of one of the goal sets that I've got right there. Another goal is I want to actually like have healthy channels out there aside from the studio space. So that means our online space. So a goal there is that I want to see a YouTube channel with 1,000 subs.
Right.
I think that's a realistic goal, for the content that we're putting out there with this. And I would also like to see our podcast, through all of the different ways that you can find podcasts, which I have learned a whole lot on that one here just this week.
We're going to be issuing out through 10 different sources.
I know. And so I'm curious now as we're going in more into that world, because I'm so YouTube heavy in my brain. Like I know that one backwards and forwards.
Right.
So this is very new for me to figure out how the analytics side of that's going to work.
Right.
Monitoring 10 different sites for listenership and
hey Russ, we're looking at you.
Yeah, for staying involved with your community, because that's going to be the real hurdle with that is how then, because with one platform staying involved with your community is one thing, but then if I've got 10 platforms that I'm kind of having to monitor, that quickly becomes a full-time job in and of itself, not aside from everything else that has to be done. Right. So that's again where that social media person will be nice. So that's one person I really see being very important for us to have with all of that monitoring and everything else. It's going to be much. I mean, we've also got to run a physical location. We're also going to be doing different, the word just totally flew out of my head. Isn't that great when that happens? I just totally blanked.
I have no idea.
We're also consulting.
There we go.
Consulting. That is another 3-syllable word.
That's something that you're really good at.
Yeah.
But it takes time. It just takes time.
Maybe it's because I think of it more as coaching.
That's true.
So that's why I was having trouble with the word consulting.
Yeah.
We've talked about my background a little bit, but my coaching minor. So I think of it as coaching. So that's another goal that I have. I'd also, another big goal is I want to have this business, this is a big goal for a small business. I want to have it be profitable in the first year.
Right.
And looking at it on paper, it's very doable.
Oh, sure.
It's not that this is like me dreaming crazy because of the need that's out there for what we're doing.
Well, outside of space expenses at this point,
we're done spending money.
Right.
Like there's not a whole lot left until we open another location. Then we've got
but we know what we're doing.
costs again.
We know what we're doing.
But it reaches a point in a small business that it's like, oh my goodness, I am really tired of watching money go out the window. And it's not really going out the window. It's going into equipment that is here.
No, it's here in the room with us. All the money is here with us. Yeah.
But it feels like, okay, I'd really want to see it going the other way.
Right.
And we're right on the crest of that hill right now. And I have to remind myself.
We've opened, but we are still in that initial, there's a stage with clients where they want to come in and check stuff out, and they want to kick the tires and that sort of thing first, and then and we've got people who are committing already to come in.
Yeah,
it's just their appointments haven't happened yet. That's it.
Yeah, and so it's one of those. It's just like, okay, be patient. It's coming, and it's going to come. And I have been the one saying from day one, I don't want this to start too fast. I want to start at a pace that we can handle.
Let me also note this as of the date of recording, not the date of broadcast.
Okay. It is still February right now.
It's pre-Valentine's Day.
Okay, hold on. This does go live in February. I'm looking at my dates right now. This one goes live February 25th. So,
that's still 2 weeks
February.
from now.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit. So
we have clients coming.
We will be in a different place at that point. We're in the middle of a block of crazy recording over a weekend, so that we have the next couple of weeks to just devote to that aspect of things, the client base, looking forward to it, but it's like it's going to be nice to be sitting on this mountain of content.
Because that's why batch recording, and that's probably not a thing for today, but batch recording is so important.
Oh, I push it big time. I am a huge proponent of batch recording.
We had some guys come in today, and they were asking about, could we record an hour a day for a month? It's like, why not just come in,
do batch recording,
and do batch recording for 2 days or 3 days, and you're done. It's finished.
It's a lot of scheduling on the front end. but
it's like magic on the backside. Yes.
So there's a goal.
Yeah.
To stay good with batch recording so that we're not getting behind on content.
Yep.
So those are the basics right now for me. I want to stay true to, and this isn't really so much for this podcast, but I'm wanting to stay true to the vision that I've kind of seen, even though it's still taking shape, you know, and what I see this business being for.
We're headed in the same direction, but we're flexible in how we get to that place.
Yeah, because paths wiggle.
Right. They do.
There's no such thing as a 100% straight path.
No.
I've learned that. At least not from my perspective is it straight. So future locations. Right now, future locations that we're immediately looking at are here in county.
Yeah. One of them's just a couple blocks over.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to that space because it's really different than this one.
Right.
It has a totally different feel. And it's going to be great for recording podcasts, especially if you want a great video aspect to your podcast and to feel like you're in an atmosphere that is bustling and
business
energetic
is taking place and people are creating things. And yeah, it's going to be super cool. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
The building design itself is super modern.
It's a totally green building.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's all glass and open, like big open doors, so it's natural light, natural air passing through. It's a cool space. Spaces.
Yeah, it's in Spaces.
Yeah.
And the same company owns that building that owns the building we're in.
Right.
And the goal is to be at a point financially. There's another goal so that I keep this one that we're currently in open as well.
Right. I don't care if our office moves, but I want to keep the studio here.
Yeah. The studio is a great studio.
Very happy with it.
I really like this space.
Super flexible, works well.
And plus we put a lot of work into getting this room ready. It's like just to walk away is going to be like, oh.
We'll be in here the better part of a year.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done before the other space is open, but yeah.
So that's future growth here. And then growth in general too for these future locations. Yeah, I mean, we want to grow to be multi-location, not just in California, franchisable, you know, so that you can buy in and that you can be a part of this and that you don't have to go through all the backside that we're going through. And we're not sharing a lot of what we're doing because it would make for really boring podcasts. Just in figuring out pricing and price lists and how does setting up a day with scheduling look like.
Let me give you a step-by-step walkthrough on how to get your podcast set up online and integrated with your website. And that's a great podcast for somebody else to do.
Yeah.
Not right now.
We have had an adventure with that of itself. But the goal, there's another goal. And this goal, you will know when you're listening to this, if we got this goal, is to have the podcast go live Monday.
Right.
Which that is Monday the 11th. So you will know when you're listening to this if we hit that or not.
Right.
With 3 episodes. I'm editing the 3rd one not as I'm sitting here. It is sitting in the office right now.
That'd be a skill set. Doing podcast, editing one while on the fly.
I'm that good.
Yeah.
No, it's sitting over in the office half done.
Right.
And every one of these has been a neat learning experience because that was our first one doing it with a remote guest. Right. And so having a couple of hiccups with getting files to come together. And so it's taken a lot more time than my normal podcast edit. It's like normally, click, 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 done.
Done. Yep.
This one is taking a lot of time.
But it's your first one where you've done integrated sources beyond what's in our studio. So, and that's cool. It's a learning experience. Yep. You'll know so much more on the backside of it. So.
And it is coming together. So little things on that I'll know to do next time a little differently. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So I've got the last question I have in our content notes is what does growth look like? And I think I've kind of answered that as we've been going through this and saying what are my goals?
Yeah.
What do I see growth looking like?
Do you have your bumper sticker?
Growth is good.
Growth is good.
Yes.
Growth is good.
My bumper sticker from when I was a kid. Yep. Actually, high school, if you want to call that. I still call that kid now.
You're a kid. In high school, you're a kid. Yeah.
I have that bumper sticker, and I don't think I'll ever get rid of it just because of what it says to me.
Yeah.
And I
don't stay where it's comfortable. Yep. Move on into new things. Growth is good.
Growth is good. And that would probably be the thumbnail for this, is that bumper sticker. So you'll get to see it if you're if you're getting to this on YouTube,
That's where the thumbnail came from.
Yeah, you'll see the thumbnail, that bumper sticker.
Growth is good.
Growth is good.
Yep.
Now, it actually was referring to growth in Lexington, Kentucky as far as like development. And the other side actually had a great point, but their slogan wasn't nearly as catchy.
Growth is bad.
Yeah, it was growth destroys the bluegrass forever. Was not nearly as catchy as growth is good.
No.
And their bumper stickers weren't like as happy.
It's your whole bumper. Growth destroys the bluegrass forever.
And I think it may have even said our beautiful bluegrass or something like that. I mean, it was like really wordy.
There was no marketing team at work.
Yeah. These were a lot of well-meaning people.
Yeah.
They just,
Wow, that's too bad.
Yeah. I mean, they could have just come out with growth is bad.
Yeah. No, I've had.
And that would have been a pretty funny going back and forth, you know.
Yeah. Well, and I could go on for a long time talking about resistance to growth. And I'm not going to. People don't like change. There's a nifty thing called neuroplasticity that you and I have talked about before where our mind gets into...
I don't know if that's an okay word for this podcast.
Neuroplasticity.
Because it's really long.
What it basically means is that when you and I do things, we typically do them in the same way over and over again, and our brain develops a pathway to get that done. Like the way I get ready is different than the way you get ready because my brain is set in a course way for I'm going to brush my teeth here and this, and I'm going to do this for my hair at this point. I'm going to shave at this point, and this is the order that these things are, quote unquote, supposed to happen. And if something comes in the middle of that, then you get thrown off, and it can make you agitated or angry. And it's really over minor stuff.
Yeah.
But it's change, and your mental pathway gets broken or stopped. And that's why most people resist change, period, because I'm just so used to doing it this way. There's nothing wrong with doing it the new way. But that new growth, that new thing has to be introduced in a particular way if you're going to break a pattern and not find resistance in the process.
That was a lot.
It's a lot.
That was heavy.
I'll save that for my own channel.
Yeah.
Dealing with neuroplasticity. I will not get good SEO hits on that.
No, you won't. Not with that word. And I don't want to be, going back, let's bring it
on back, reel it back in.
Bring it back around, Benjamin. That our name with the Beta Haus, and we've talked about the whole meaning of beta is that we want to be a place to try things.
Right. Experiment.
Be a safe place for experimentation in that the digital world is still so new.
Yeah.
And the way it has changed, in 10, YouTube's now 11 or 12 years old. But the amount that it has changed in just that time is huge.
Right.
And the way that it is currently changing. I mean, we're seeing new laws, like especially with Prop 13 and all of that over in Europe, where they're trying to explore what does intellectual property look like? So this digital landscape is going to change that much more in the next 10 years.
Well, and even YouTube stateside right now, and probably internationally, they're still trying to figure out that whole conspiracy theory thing.
Yeah.
Like, how do we control dangerous and malformed ideas that are meant to be divisive and separative, and kind of funnel those things out and still allow a healthy exchange of ideas.
Oh, yeah.
And and you're trying to get an algorithm to do that.
Yeah.
Good
Because
luck.
There's so much content that humans can't do all of it.
No.
It's one of those, it's flagged it, so now we check it.
Yeah.
And there's only, it's a lot to go through, and the amount that's being uploaded. I mean, YouTube did that funny thing years ago on April Fool's, showing like you could order the VHS copies of YouTube.
Of all the YouTube channels.
It's a funny video, and it's still relevant today. I mean, the numbers
If we can find it, we'll link it up down below,
but,
if it's still out there.
It was hilarious, and it's like just how much more content now is being uploaded. And people, in attempts to be found, are going to be trying new and different things because what used to work, and this, again, focus versus flexibility here. What used to work is, I could come on and have a great personality.
Right.
A great personality isn't going to get you discovered on YouTube now.
Right.
There are, and I'm making up numbers here. So take my numbers for what you want. Okay. For the amount. Because I would say there are probably in the hundreds, if not thousands, of new creators, daily to weekly, coming out that think they're going to start a channel just based because, I've got a great personality.
Right.
and fighting for that same audience share.
Sure. And they also have no idea how hard repeated quality content construction is. Mm-hmm. They've got, I've got these great ideas. Well, they have like 8 to 10 ideas.
Yeah, and after those 8 to 10 videos, it's done.
Right.
If they even make it to 8 to 10.
Right.
But you can't just go out thinking my personality is going to pull it now.
Mm-mm. No.
You have to have plans. You have to
there
have
needs
content.
To be value.
You have to, yeah. People have moved on from that.
Right.
And now, instead of thinking, ooh, let me build my community first,
mm-hmm.
it's, ooh, let me get out there and get discovered.
Right.
Honestly, getting discovered on any of these platforms is a crapshoot.
It is. It's near impossible.
It is totally by chance that you're going to get discovered or found.
Right.
That's the way it works. I mean, it really, and there's no rhyme or reason
Mm-mm.
to when you're going to get found and picked up. And it will probably be a video that is one of your least favorite. I'm just going to let you know.
How do you know
so
that?
Be ready.
How do you know that?
Because I've heard not just myself, but other creators who have been in the same boat. That
right.
A video that you probably cried over
mm-hmm.
at some point because something happened in the recording and you're now stuck and
mm-hmm.
you had to come up with an idea that wasn't nearly as good as the original video. And
right.
now you're trying to put it together. The lighting sucks. All of that's just really, really bad. And you're like, that's the video they picked? Really? That's the one everybody's going to watch?
It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever made in my life.
And you want to tell everybody, like, if you could, like...
I thought I deleted it.
Put a little video in front of it and say, I know you clicked on this one, but trust me, this one's better.
This one's better, yeah. So Craig, and we can put another link in for him too. So there's a group of people that we've been watching on YouTube because we've been cable and satellite free
mm-hmm.
for 15 plus years at this point. And so most of our viewing has come through Netflix and YouTube.
Yeah.
And so we have a certain group of people that we've been watching for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. And they've ridden these waves.
Yeah, they've ridden the waves. We've watched them develop. And like I admire Craig Benzine for his ability to be flexible.
Oh, yeah.
Even
definitely.
outside of trends, he says, I'm tired of doing it this way. I'm going to mix it up.
Yeah.
And he says, okay, that was cool. I'm going to go back to what I was doing before. And now let's punch Neagle like I used to or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And like the format change that they just went through, was great for them.
They're seeing great growth on their channel with
and,
it.
And there are people that they came in and maybe they saw Goofy Wheezy.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden we've got these little more serious, like I'm going to talk through what it means to do this for a month. And they're like, well, that's not the content I wanted from you.
Right.
Well, it's like, but that's what I'm creating.
That's where I am. And
we've been with them for so long. I enjoy watching them mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, Rhett and Link, we enjoyed their storytelling more at the onset. But we've watched them for so long. There's an investment of time.
And I would say now, I enjoy the podcast that they do
Ear
more
Biscuits
than the Daily Show.
And LTAT. I like LTAT and Ear Biscuits more than I do the Daily Show at this point. But I'm still going to watch it.
Yeah.
I like it.
And again, your neuroplasticity.
Right.
I'm going to use your $10 million word right
do
there.
Do it.
That's part of our morning routine.
Mm-hmm.
And it would feel weird not to do it.
Dear Rhett and Link, you subliminally fed us every day. Thank you for making us part of your daily routine.
Yeah.
We did. We did. I've seen you eat probably everything under the sun at this point, and not shocked by what you eat anymore. Mm-hmm. But I still enjoy you guys.
Oh, and if we're gonna do our straight talk to them, I'm gonna look right into the camera, and I'm gonna give you a big, heartfelt thank you because you did the YouTube Originals thing.
Oh yeah.
And you got your mic figured out when you eat. I am so thankful that there are no more mouth noises. You have no idea how that changed my life.
Yes.
That day was just like the happiest day. Like
if I saw you gonna eat something crunchy, I had to like put it on mute and subtitles so I could still watch it and read what you were doing, but I couldn't hear anymore. Yeah.
So that's it. So writing and changing, and their stuff with changing and changing, like they have gotten a ton of backlash.
Every time they change anything,
for their
the
formats.
Fan base just goes ballistic.
And it's hard to say we're going to try something new as a creator and stick to it.
Right.
Because you have to stick to it for so long with so many voices saying no.
Mm-hmm. And every time they make a change, there's always a 3 to 5 episode buffer where they have to explain what they're doing, and this is not changing, and here's this new thing, but you're going to like it. Just trust us and ride this out.
There's new music to the intro.
They've learned that that's what's going to be required, and it's all neuroplasticity.
Because they went to that
Yeah.
Okay, going through some of their big changes that they tried. And I'm like so glad that they tried these things.
I loved the Mythical show. I thought it was great.
Oh, the Mythical show was a blast.
Yeah. I also loved Chia Lincoln in the Garage.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm flexible.
Yeah, you're and I enjoyed the fact that they could put into some more scripted, more produced type work. And my Sad Buddy system's not around right now. Yeah, because I did. I enjoyed seeing that aspect of their scripted side. Because they do both well, like the on the fly and the scripted. Now, I do know that the regular show is scripted too, to an extent.
What?
Yeah. What? I will let you know we are currently not scripted.
No.
Right now we are.
Currently.
If you cannot tell by the fact that we are all over the place, we are not scripted.
We're drifting in a very particular direction. Yeah.
And but I
growth looks like change. Yeah.
I've enjoyed the difference.
I do too.
And maybe I don't like where they're at right now as much. That phrase came out a little.
We're not cranky about it at all.
I will say this: it's not my favorite.
Right.
Of what they've done.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that in a year they're not going to discover something new and trying things that's going to be absolutely awesome.
They have an amazing team.
Yeah.
Props to all you guys who are not in front of the camera on a regular basis.
Long-term goal.
Holy cow.
I want an amazing team too.
Yeah.
I just listened to their Ear Biscuit that they talked about going to the amusement park. And it's like, I want to have a team that fills a bus so we can go to amusement park. So that's going to be like a soft goal.
Sure.
It may not be like written down on a piece of paper somewhere, but you've heard me say it.
So maybe that first bus is an Uber XL. Hey guys, we're going to hit the coaster. We're going to run up to LA. We're going to take an Uber XL. We're going to go to Disneyland for the day.
But we'll do something. But it was just kind of funny. I was like, how cool is that? I was just like that, to reach that point. And with the way we're doing it right now, technically we're not solopreneurs because there's two of us.
Right.
And I don't want to try to make up a word on the fly because everything that's flying through my head right now is stupid.
Duopreneurs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't, none of them work.
Yeah.
But I know that our business isn't meant to stay that way. We're not meant to be a digital nomad. We're not meant to do this business, especially right now, this way.
Right.
May it be in 10 years that because these are so all over the place that I'm working from wherever.
Right.
Yeah. I hope so.
You're going to have to wind up traveling a lot.
But right now, no.
No.
And what the beauty is, the timing of that falls, our kids will be out of the house at that point.
Right.
So.
You'll be sick of me. We'll be together all the time with no one else to talk to. Yeah, you're like, Ben, I'm going to Sacramento.
Yeah, I'm going to visit that office for a little while. I think maybe we need to open an office in Fiji. Fiji. We got the Fiji office.
Or Tahiti. It's a magical place.
No, Tahiti is a magical place.
That's right.
Where is our dream location? That's what we need to figure out. Where would your dream location be for Beta Haus Studio to go visit? We haven't ever talked about this, so this is fun.
Well, here's the thing is that we're untraveled.
Right.
So I can't answer that definitively.
I'm in your scope right now.
In my scope right now.
Even if it's
simply because it's my family heritage. If we were somewhere in the UK, not University of Kentucky, but the United Kingdom.
So not Lexington, sorry.
Right, sorry, Lexington. You got some good restaurants, and I love Ale8 over there in Winchester, but no, I'm talking like England, Scotland, Wales, that area. I think it'd be cool to have something or a couple of somethings running over there. But dude, it's cloudy and rainy and cold up there, and man, we get spoiled here.
I know.
So it'd be a good place to go visit.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. A location
I'm also not saying, well, our Monaco location, because that's.
I don't know. Yeah. Are we old enough for Monaco yet?
I need gaudy jewelry, and I need way more chest hair. So, but I don't know. I don't know what it would look like. But this is primarily your dream, and I have a lot of writing I want to do. And for me, with my personality, that does mean a good degree of being holed up in coffee shops or in mountain cabins and that sort of thing so that I can get the writing done.
I mean, what if you were managing the Edinburgh location for a little bit to go write?
Yeah, and that'd be awesome. That'd be totally cool. I would obviously want you around, but if we lived in Edinburgh for a little while, I'm fine with not having like a boatload of material possessions. I'll go live wherever. I really don't care about stuff.
Well, I do want a house somewhere. I want a base.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be a big house.
But we could Airbnb it when we're not home. I mean, it's not
I
a
don't
big deal.
need a large place. I've learned that in our moves.
But yeah, so I mean, we'll see where we go, and I'm kind of open on that. But I would like to have some place. If I could go do some writings in a corner booth at the Inklings. Where they were at.
That gives you instant
Oh my
cred?
Goodness! Oh no, that would just be cool just to be in the history of that area and sit where Tolkien and Lewis sat and discussed. And I'm sure it's filled with aspiring writers on a daily basis. But hey, if I can go pull a couple hours in there, I think that'd be cool too. So
you know what? That just gave me an idea that I would also like to get you totally out of your comfort zone with that.
Okay.
And take you to Key West to sit where Hemingway sat for a little bit.
He's such a sad person.
But if we're gonna do an author tour, we could do a little author tour.
I feel that. Wow, that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, sorry. We're going into different territory. But
we got to wrap this one up. So, what are your dreams?
Yeah.
What are your goals? What are you working toward right now? Do you have a business that you're trying to build? Do you have an idea you're trying to launch? What's up with you right now? Let us know down in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube, or leave us some comments on the podcast page.
And
give us a good
interwebs.
On the interwebs. Yeah, and give us 5 stars on there. Light us up for everybody else. That makes us more visible. And liking it, commenting, sharing, subscribing on YouTube is awesome. But on the podcasting side, honestly, those stars and those comments do a lot to help other people see what's going on. So if you enjoyed this, we want other people to enjoy it too.
And also, don't forget us over on social media. We did do our selfie as we were doing this. Instagram is one of the best places to find us, at Beta Haus Studio. And Twitter, we are at Beta_Haus.
Right, HAUS on all of these.
So find us there and join the conversation.
Yes.
As well there. Oh, and don't forget the website.
Yes, BetaHaus.Studio.
There's also a written version of all of these podcasts.
Summary.
It's a summary version of all these as well, so you can catch up there too and see what's going on.
Yep. Plus lots of other resources that are in development or already there waiting for you to help you with your creative thoughts and processes.
Yes, because we want you to grow creatively. There's the word. I'm sorry. It has been a week.
Yep. All right.
We will see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.